Okay, obviously Supercross was great. Outdoors last year was great as well, even though you didn't win the championship. So everyone would think that you just carry that level over from outdoors and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But what's one weakness from outdoors last year that you actually want to get better at? Something you want to fix to make you that 1% stronger?
Honestly, I mean, outdoors for me last year was, I feel like, very solid. There's a few things on the bike I wanted to fix, and that's something we attacked last week. So we'll obviously see where we're at with the bike, but it's pretty similar to last year. So I think we'll be good. But overall, I think if I can just improve off last year, just a little bit in every area, that's the goal. So like I said up there, I think if I can just get better every year, and last year was awesome racing Eli for all those rounds, and I feel like at the end of the year I was still wanting to keep going, and I just want to keep building off of that. So yeah, here we are. We're ready to go.
It's pretty crazy to compare like today to this point last year.
I know.
Obviously, there were still a lot of unknowns about your 450 career at that point, and now you are the guy.
Yeah.
Can you almost believe what a difference a year makes?
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. I think a year ago today, where I was at is just not even comparable to where I am now, especially mentally. Obviously, the results will come with confidence, and last year winning the first race kind of like skyrocketed me into a different part of my career. So. Yeah, obviously last year outdoors was awesome. Got second in the series. I obviously came up short a little bit to Eli, and then winning the Supercross championship has just made me a lot more confident and believe in myself even more. So, yeah, if we can just, like I said, improve, but the difference between me last year and this year is not even really comparable.
I guess just mentally, like you must be so much more sure of yourself. Like even walking into an event like this, it must just feel weird to know that everyone's looking at you as the guy, not the underdog, not the potential threat. Like you are the man.
Yeah, that's why I've worked for my entire career, is to get to the top of the 450 class, and I still have a lot of room to grow, which is really exciting for me. I don't feel like I've even come close to my ceiling yet, so that's what I'm looking forward to, and definitely am not even close to satisfied yet. I got a lot of work to do, and keep that underdog mentality in me.
I guess that's like the big thing. Sometimes someone could win a championship and they're like, sweet, box ticked.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, I kind of want more of these.
No,
this is a nice feeling.
I want more checks in the box for me. I want to be a multi-champion, and I want to be somebody in the sport that is a legend like Eli and obviously Ricky and all those guys. But for me, getting to learn from Eli the last couple of years has really helped me as a rider, and it's just made me more motivated to kind of get to that spot. And yeah, obviously we all have our own paths, and looking forward to seeing what we have in the next couple of years.
Last thing, you said that the bike was in a pretty good spot, but are there still steps to take? Are you still searching a little bit, or do you feel like what we're heading into round one with is pretty much like the dialed package?
It's kind of hard to kind of tell. I mean, I feel very comfortable on the bike, and it's not too much different than last year, just a little tweaks here and there. But overall, it's pretty similar to last year's bike. So we fixed a few spots with just the whole overall package that I thought we needed to fix. Just towards the end of the year last year, I was starting to get some spots where I didn't really like the bike that much, and we kind of attacked those last week and feel like it's a lot better. So we don't know until we get on a racetrack. Paula is a little bit different than most races. It's maybe not as braking bump rough. It gets choppy, and I really feel like our bike excels there. So hopefully we can kind of translate that from last year and move on to these East Coast races where we'll really tell where the bike's at.
Obviously, we all know about your plan in Supercross. It was to build, it was to kind of gain momentum. So now that you have the momentum from Supercross, how does that alter the plan for outdoors? Because it can be similar, but it can't be the same because you have whatever you did in Supercross behind you.
Well, Lewis, it can be whatever I want it to be. I think this year is a building year, of course. I'm not trying to come out and win the first race. That's not really on my mind. I'm not quite sure where I stand. I also have, unfortunately, I have this nerve thing in my hand, and sometimes it's not that great, and I'm not really sure how it translates outdoors these days with how it's doing. So I've just had to do a lot of work to get to a spot mentally where I can come to the race and I can be okay with just giving my best and not get crazy frustrated, because the beginning of Supercross, as I've kind of talked to you about, man, it was miserable because I was so hard on myself. And so if I'm going to go there, I might as well have a good time and enjoy it, and that's when I do my best. So I've done a lot of work mentally, like I said, to get to a spot where I can have fun and that's the goal.
Have you been happy with what you've done in the last 2 weeks, testing-wise, practice-wise? Like, has it been good enough, or have you been beating your head against the wall?
Yeah, so I've had days like last Thursday at Glen Helen. I'm ripping. I feel so good. I feel like I could, I start to get the thoughts in my head like, oh, I can beat all these guys, And then I show up to the track Monday, and it's a bad day for my hand. And I had a, it was not good. I got dropped by Joe Shimoda. I mean, he put 20 seconds on me, and I'm like, what am I doing? So it's kind of this roller coaster ride a little bit with it that's been difficult to deal with. So, yeah, I can't tell you. It's hard. It is hard. I do get frustrated with it, but I'm really happy with the work I've been able to do and kind of, I guess, how my outlook on all of it is.
Maybe you don't want to answer this, but you've just made me think. So like Monday when you turn up and you realise it's not a good day for your hand, you still push on and do your work. Like you don't just go, look, today's not the day and leave.
No, I mean, my limit becomes way less. And for years, I got hurt over and over and over again because the grip strength issue, and I would be right on the edge, and I wouldn't have the strength, and I would lose control or do this, do that. That's what happened with my shoulder before 2022. Then that turned into a knee and all this kind of stuff. So I'm over like riding this thin line where anything can happen. So I've had to learn to ride the bike differently. Like my riding style's changed. I have to be kind of crafty with my line selection and stuff like that. We did do the stem cell thing before Salt Lake City. A lot of people have had a lot of great results with that. But yeah, I mean, it's like I told you at the beginning of the year. I don't like talking about it, but unfortunately, it's kind of a part of my story right now. And yeah, I guess I'm just happy that I'm happy.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, last thing, like I say, you've got what you did in Supercross behind you. Since you've been on a 450, outdoors has been super strong for you. There's been
Outdoor
a lot
guy.
of flashes, I guess so. So this must be like the most settled, comfortable you felt entering a new championship in years. I guess maybe since 2020 outdoors.
Yeah, I think, I'm definitely in a different place in 2020. 2020, I'm winning every race, I'm going for it like that. So I was in more of a heightened state. And now I'm very relaxed, I'm confident in my ability and what I can do. And, I can have a bad result and not want to go jump off a bridge. So that's nice too. But it's definitely nice to have like some good momentum. Last couple rounds of Supercross went well for me. And it's just, man, like even when I showed up to Anaheim 1, I can't even describe to you how nervous I was racing. It feels like the first time again. And when you string a bunch of races together, it just feels like another day at work, and it kind of lets you enjoy it a bit more.
Fun question. One more, because this is interesting to me.
Hit me.
You say you were nervous at Anaheim 1. Compare those nerves to like Arlington 2014 and your first Supercross ever. Because nervous can mean a lot of things, I guess. So how is it different, or is it?
That's like
entering the unknown still.
Yeah, it's like, that's 10 years ago, and my whole perception of everything that was happening was so different when I'm 17. I don't think I really expected myself to win that race. As a kid, I didn't expect that, so I was more so just kind of dumb sending it, and I really never remember feeling that nervous. But as you get older, a little bit more conscious of things, I don't know. That was the most nervous I feel like I've ever been, was probably the Anaheim this year. So
Sick. Actually, seeing as you did a bonus question, you can promote your podcast. Where can people get it? New episode was this week, right?
Yeah, so we just wrapped up, my co-host and I, Shane Doyle, wrapped up second episode of Unplugged with Adam Cianciarulo. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music. We're working on getting it in a couple more spots, but as of now, and YouTube. It's on YouTube. We got the camera all set up and stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun doing that. It's good for me to kind of practice. I always have a lot to say, and I feel like I only have 2 paragraphs on Instagram. I can really get my thoughts across, so it's nice to have another outlet. So thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks, Lewis. You look great.
Obviously, we haven't seen you in a long time now. Has everything been smooth since you dipped out of Supercross? Has there been any issues at all, or has it just been smooth sailing?
It's been smooth sailing. A lot of testing with the team, per usual, and just trying to get a head start on the outdoor series, make sure I'm comfortable, and we start the series out strong. It's something we weren't able to do last year, and we kind of had to play catch up from there, and that didn't really happen. So just trying to come in more prepared this year. Obviously, we had the foot injury dealing with last year, and overall, just feel like I've had a lot of time to progress and work on myself with the bike. So coming in strong, and looking forward to getting it started here this weekend.
Was it at all painful for you to watch the way the Supercross played out? Because had you continued, I have no doubt that you would have got a podium at some point. So did you kind of regret the decision and the playbook that you were following at some point?
Yes and no. I mean, obviously, you see how the last few races went and the opportunities that were there. But no, I don't dwell on that. And even if I did want to come back, I couldn't because I've been off Supercross for so long. So no, we're just stuck to the plan. It's a bummer to see all those guys get hurt, and definitely not something that you want to progress off of someone else's accidents. So bummer to see that, but everyone will come back healthy into this outdoor season for the most part, and 250 class is definitely looking to shape up to be a stat class. So it's going to be tough for sure, and hoping to use this preparation to carry me through the season.
Outdoors-wise, looking back on what you've done in the past, what's one weakness that you feel like you need to improve on to kind of seal the deal this year and get the job done?
Yeah, obviously been close a few times. The one in 2021 with Jet had that thumb injury, and that was kind of it's a hard one to get over, to be honest. I felt like at that race at Washougal, I had just extended the points lead to a gap where I could have been comfortable with my lead. It was always a few points apart, and caught up, got the points lead, and had that thumb injury with 2 laps to go at Washougal, and that kind of just it was tough from there on out. I mean, only had I wasn't riding during the week, and I was just trying to do my best to do what I could. But I think this year, weaknesses, there really hasn't been too many weaknesses. Bike setup has been more of the focus coming into the season, and just trying to get myself in the most comfortable position with the bike to make this happen. So it's going to be my last shot, so definitely coming in swinging, and we're gonna give it everything we got. It won't be from a lack of effort.
One more thing that you just reminded me of. Do we know what you're doing next year? Are you talking to people? Do you at least know what the plan is, or is it completely just up in the air?
I have some things in mind.
Good things?
Everything's in the works right now, and before VD next year for sure, full time. And that's been there's not a lot of opportunities available right now, so that's been there's not a lot of talking in that sense. It's a lot of teams are full, and but we have a good plan ahead, and it's looking like we'll be revealing that probably here pretty soon. So.
First of all, where are you at? How have the last few weeks, months been going? Are we 100%? Are we close to it? Like, where are we at?
We're close to it. I wouldn't say we're necessarily 100%. I came in a little bit behind the 8 ball with my arm, and we knew it was going to be tough to get back and to get racing. But I did all that I can do, and I'm at a spot where speed wise I feel really good, and I match up pretty good with the boys back home. So I'm ready to go. Just I think the first 2 rounds will be just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I haven't raced in a really long time, but I feel good. I've won before here, and I feel like I can do it again. So it's time to line up.
Was there a chance of you ever coming back for 1 or 2 Supercross rounds, or was that just going to be impossible?
That was my mindset. I really wanted to come back and get a couple rounds in, but it just didn't work out. Honestly, my arm took a lot longer than what I thought, even though it is. Honestly, my break is probably like a 6-month break, but I got back pretty quick for what it was. Just wasn't in time for Supercross. But I really did want to come back to Supercross. I was pushing hard for it. I did everything I could, and I was riding Supercross really, really well before the season. So it was a bummer to miss out on that. But I came back, got back for this. So this is the full focus, and I feel like I can do good. And just got to kind of see where I stack up in these first 2 rounds and survive it. And I think when we start to head back east, I'll really come alive.
Do you feel like you've got a bit of a chip on your shoulder? Like you've got a point to prove, to remind the people who have forgotten just how good you are?
Oh, for sure. I feel like it's so easy in this sport to get written off, and I feel like that's kind of where I'm at now. Just nobody's been able to see me. I feel like Supercross, a lot of people really would have been surprised. I was riding really, really well, and I know that sounds cliche, but Anybody who is around would tell you I was ripping Supercross, so I'm looking forward to outdoors to kind of get back in the swing of things and like you said, remind people. Easy to be forgotten in this sport, so it's time to remind some people.